Please share screen. And
Hi. 因为
Fandi, let's hear about the practice of extensive reading in China.
Alrighty. Hi. Hello, everyone. Can you see me and hear me?
Hello.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello from China. Hello from Xiamen. Hi.
Hello from Mongolia. Nice to meet you.
It's not very far. Oh, sorry. I'm just trying to adjust the sidebar. Yeah, okay. Oh, sorry, the first one. Now you can see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, so I will let you know what I look like first, and then I will turn off my video, okay? Then you can focus on my screen. All right, first thing first. Hi, everyone. I'm Fandi from China. So I'm representing the Peekaboo, Xiamen, China, okay? We are a school, so we teach English and we guide students in readings and also like speaking, listening, all those languages skills. My topics today is reflections on the practice of extensive reading in China, because we have done this for past 3 years already. Since we have the we joined the ERAW in 2018, 17, right? We have been practicing the extensive reading in our school. So now our school, like we have over 100 students. So all of them, they have tried extensive reading, no matter they are very young, from about 3 years old, or like 10 in primary school. So for my topics is especially on young learners, okay? I think lots of the audience, you guys could be educator, teacher, or tutors. But also some of the methods I will introduce in my presentation, they are good for learners as well, no matter how old you are. We are always learning. All right, let me turn off the video and you can see the screen. And if you have questions, please tap in the chat part and I will go back to answer your questions. All right. Alrighty. I just want to save some of the internet flow because my internet is not very stable. Okay. Alrighty, here, first one. So look at the our company sign, huh? We called Pick a Book. Yes, we are all about books. Now, let's talk about something happy, okay? Because I know the pandemic is continuously happening all over the world, and it also comes back to some of the cities in China as well. So first thing first, I want to thank you for each of your presences, even online, okay? I'm very glad. Let's talk about something happy, cheer up, okay? Cheer up from the pandemic. What we have done and what we have achieved. You know, are those methods we talked 2 years ago, are those methods worked for Chinese students? And what outcomes did they get? So the students, they have done lots lots of readings, they have books at home, but what outcomes did they get? Bad or good? Okay, how did the student perform in our school in the past 2 years? So after they have done tons of readings, no matter extensively or intensively, how did they perform? So I think some of you might have the same questions. If you have already implement some of the extensive reading methods in your school, you might have those questions. So come to our school. Look, we have done a lot of things for the past 2 years. Okay, we have the new books. We have bookshelves. This is our new campus just opened in August. All right, and we have the young learners. These are our youngest students. They are like 4 or 5. They love read all those books in the library room. We call it mini library. And we have our system. This is in Chinese because we want the parents to know what it's like and how do you borrow books. We have so many books, so the students, they can borrow the books, bring the books home. They come to our school about twice a week, so they can take any books as they want. And this is a system, and this is a rules. And more pictures you can see, and more books and shelves. We have chatted about how we display the books before, and we're just adding more and more. And look, our classroom. So we have shelves in each of the classroom. The student can access the books easily. When they see the cover, they want to pick the book and they can just read and put it back. It's very easy. See these 2 students. This girl is actually taking the Cambridge Flyer test. She loves reading and she usually borrow about 5 to 10 books, no matter it's a leveled book like Race or just like storybooks. She can read, besides her homework, she can read 5 to 10 books each week. Yeah, she's my one of my favorite. Oh, next one. So that's the good thing about us, okay? Let's come to the main topic. We actually have redesigned the layout of the rooms, if you can say, and each of the room is equipped with bookshelves. At the same time, we set up the special library. You can see from this, the special library for higher levels books. So the student can share books and read before and after the class. They really love the room. They don't really want to leave. I don't know if they want to read or they just don't want to go home and they don't want to do their homeworks. All right, that's the results and the good things we have got. But I'm talking about the pain points today. A little bit negative, but it's good, all right? Because if we can find the pain point, means we can be better. In those process, we find some expectations that extensive reading could not fulfill. For example, extensive reading alone cannot lay a very solid grammatical foundation for younger learners. Like in the picture, that girl and the boy, they are 7 and 8 years old. So extensive reading cannot really give them a grammar foundation. So they always ask the questions. When they read more and more, they tend to ask me very difficult grammar questions. I don't know, should I explain to them or not? Because they are doing the extensive reading is about the amount they read, right? And the variety. But when they come to that question, they give up. All right, so that's an example. I take the pain point into 3 sections. So first one, from the academic perspective, one of the point is some of the students, they fail to achieve the depths of knowledge. They just look the books, easy books. We can say easy books. So like stories, comics, even because we have variety of books, they choose the simple ones, easy ones, because they think lots of the text they don't understand, so they give up. So students need to, from this part, students need to achieve higher order thinking and read more complex text. When they finish, for example, do you know, I don't know if you guys know the race, the race books. When they finish up to level K or level E, some of them read to level E, they think the topics are easy. Even they don't understand, they don't want to read anymore. They don't want to think more. They just want to read the pictures because the texts are more and more, and the sentences are longer. And from their perspective, look at the second column, from the student perspective, they found the grammar difficulty, like I said before, and then they will stop at decoding. So they stop reading. They don't know how to pronounce that word. And then they just stop and browsing the pictures. So that's a very natural thing. And we found this every day in our classroom. They just browse the picture. They can finish a book in 30 seconds. So that's not reading anymore. And we can't even call extensive or intensive reading. They finish a book in 30 seconds. So that's a thing we need to solve. They will be like, they will say to me, oh, I finished, I want to change another one. Can you lend me this book? But actually they don't know what it says. And the third one is from my perspective, from our teachers' perspective. The teachers have the pressure of time management with answering all the students, because we are not the daily school. We are the, like we call it, education company in China. So our classes are like 6 to 8 people, the size. It's not a big size. So we don't have students come here every day. Some of them come here only on the weekend, and most of them come here twice a week and have 1.5 hour classes. And what they do is they borrow a book and come back to home and read. But when they have problem and a question, they can't reach me. They can't reach the teachers or any tutors. They just forget, and then they leave the question alone. So if we want to hear them, we want to answer them, help them, we only have about 10 minutes each time when they come to school. So we have to solve the problem of time management. We have to use the 10 minutes to give them a big clue or give them a clear answer to their question when they are reading, because we are still, most of us are testing ER in China, in Asia. So we're still trying to find the most efficient way of helping the students. And the students also, they are trying to speed up, because we can't do like the native speakers in the Western countries, right? In China, the situations are very, in the primary school, in the middle school, even the high school, the students have the pressure of their exams. So they are trying to speed up, so they can read more and read extensively. Now, the second one is the teacher do not know the quality of time spent by students when they are reading extensively. So they tell me, oh, Fandi, I read 20 books this week. However, I don't know if they're really reading it or just browsing it. They say, oh, they will tell me, oh, Fandi, I have read blah, 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 a Dog Man, the book is very interesting. They are fighting the monsters and dinosaurs, those kind of things. But I don't know if they are really reading it or just seeing the pictures. I don't know the quality, and the parents, they cannot really help. Yeah, that's the problem when we come into the second phrase. Okay, first phrase in 2017 and 2018. We can say, oh, we just implement ER in our school. So no matter you do, you just rate. I can leave you alone. But we come into the second phrase. We have to know if they are doing right, because they are young. They don't have the control. They don't know why should I rate? Why you ask me to rate those much books? So we want to know the quality so we can help them further and develop their skills. So these are the 6 pain points. We call it pain point because it causing us headaches every day. You don't know when they ask me, what is past tense? A 6-year-old ask me what is past tense, and I explain to him, and they say, I still don't understand. I don't want to read this book anymore. He just threw the book away. Now, so how do we fix this problem? Better and faster. That's what we are aiming. All right. We just finished the Olympic Games, right? That's the Olympic spirit. We can't just think negatively. We have to think positively. I think echo to the Olympic Games is just a spirit we can use. It's very important for all the educators and the students to keep positive with solving problems. And by doing that, we are trying to do it from 3 aspects: from teaching, and from the skill part, and also from communications between teachers and the students. So these 3 parts. All right, so next few slides, I will show you some of the method we have implemented in our school here in China, in Xiamen, okay, with the young learners, and how do we solve the pain point. Are you guys okay? Right? Am I speaking too fast? Can you follow? You can test. You can test in the box if I'm too fast, okay? Okay, everyone is okay. Now, all right, first one, teaching, all right? Because teachers, we are responsible for teaching. So first thing we want to do is from teaching, we can balance the input and the output of what they have read. So input is definitely what they have read, right? Okay, and the output is what they have expressed. Look at this. So here, all right. So first one we have done is deliberate practice. So we practice on purpose. I know, okay. ER, we want to do it whenever we want. We want to read the thing we want, we like, we interest. But we can also do some of the practice deliberately, okay? Why? Because the dark stuffing type of reading are very pale as the traditional education that most of Chinese students, they are taking every day in their day school. They complain to me, all right? But different from those content they have studied in school, ER have given students the choices of books, those trigger their interest. So some of the books they don't know, and we display in our library and in our classroom and trigger their interest. So they always choose the book they want. And on top of the interest, it's easy, okay? It's very easy for them to do some of the practices because the practice is around the topic they want. They choose, so they do. They do the practice with acceptance. It's not like in their day school, okay? From Monday to Friday, their textbooks are given at the beginning of the semester. And What they can do is just that book for the whole 3 months for that semester. But in here, in our school, they can choose what they want. And we, the teachers, giving them practices, giving them questions, and tell them how to practice from what they have read. So this picture, look at this picture. This is my student practice dictations at school. So she didn't read that book intensively. She might just read once, and then when she go home, I gave her the recording because her mom doesn't speak English. If the parents speak English, they can assess the student, right? They can read the sentence from the book and student write down the word. But some of the parents, they cannot. So we gave them the recording, and the students just write down what they have heard. So that's one of the examples. So except from dictation, okay, there are 2 more ways to give them practice. First one is retell the story. You must be, some of the teachers in your in audience, you must have heard that way in school, okay? We ask students to stand up and you can repeat what the story is, repeat the text. But what we have done in ER, in our class or in our school, we just want them to get a very, very simple summary, all right? Because they have studied how to retell a story. First, what happened? Second, what happened? Then, what's the result? Last, what's the end of the story? So they have learned those skills in class. And after they quickly do a book, or after they have done reading 5 books, when they come back to the school, they can retell the story to friends, classmates, and teachers like me. They will say, oh, Fanny, have read a book called Where is the Cup? It's actually a story about bear and a deer. It's not about all the cups. I saw deer. So they will tell me, okay, they will retell the story. And it's very good to recall those details, because when they remember, they have to have a picture of that book and they have to recall what they have read. So those details keep them thinking, keep their brain moving. When they're telling me, their brain are working, they are thinking in depth, all right? Not just browsing pictures, they are thinking. So summaries and key details are very important in retelling stories. And the second one, like I showed you the example on last slides, dictations. So for younger learners like 5 or 6, they cannot really write. They can start from writing words. So when they are doing dictations, they are actually decoding, right? When they are reading, they're actually decoding. They are using phonics skills to read out the word that they don't know. They don't know. If they don't know, they can read it out. They can spell it. All right. So those words are new to them. And those words are from ER, extensive reading. What is extensive reading? You read a lot of books and there are millions of words you don't know. And they are new to them. So this way they can learn the words as well.
摸它干嘛呢？合着一个衣服，看它在
Hello? Can you hear me? I think someone. Okay. All right. Oh, let me keep going. And then for paragraphs and sentences is for the learners about 8 to 10 years old. So they have the memories, okay? They are able to write that long sentences. In this way, they recall what they have read, but you don't need to go to very deep, all right? We are not doing intensive reading. We are not writing the whole text down. We just pick one or two of the sentences and the words and giving them the opportunity to actually put it down. All right. And the third method is to ask questions. So ask questions, teachers can ask questions. Students can ask questions too. Why? The teachers ask questions about the text. Say, if my student come to me, say, oh, Fanny, I've read these 5 books. All right, I just pick any of them and flip to a page. Ask him from the picture, all right, from the picture, what color is the bear? Or say, what did the bear eat at the end of the story? Did the bear eat the deer or not? All right, so I can ask open questions like, oh, the bear and the deer, they are friends. So, but the bear has killed the deer. All right, so do you think the bear is a bad guy or not? So something like this, you can ask open questions. You can ask yes or no question, and also ask the WH questions. All right, and also for some of the older learners, we can ask question towards the content, so towards the sentences. So I flip to a page and then show him the text. And one of the sentence, you can just pick where or what or who, ask them questions. They can say from the text, because some of the text could be nonfiction or fiction or just like comics. So you have a lot of things to ask. That's the good thing about that's a good thing about extensive reading, because you have like varieties, right? You have the varieties. So it's not just the text they have from the beginning of the semester to the end of the semester, right? They have 5 books each week. Each book has different theme, and you can ask who, where, what, when, even why, if they can answer you. All right, so that's the 3 ways we do it deliberately. Okay, we do it on purpose. We do it every time when my students show me, oh, I read 5 books, I read 10 books. I tested them. So that could be something I can do when I met them after the class. Okay, I only have 2 classes with them. One is at the middle of the week and one is at the end of the week. So before and after the class, within the 10 minutes, I can do these things with them. And they can do dictations at home. That's the 3 ways. And I think some of the teachers, you can use this with extensive reading as well, because we don't want to draw like we don't want to build a wall between intensive reading and extensive reading. Like we want to use the way we learn from intensive reading, and we implemented them into extensive reading with amount of time, so we can do it efficiently. All right, next one is still about teaching. All right, problem-oriented teaching. What is problem-oriented? So we want to have the problem. We want to use the problem to guide the student with tons of practice students have done, like we mentioned, okay, in the last slides, every week. And the great effort they have put in ER, because they really, some of them, they only have about 20 minutes before they go to bed. Is their free time. So they are really putting effort in reading every day. So we would like to see their questions. Okay, we want to see their mistakes. What kind of mistake they have made? Because those mistakes, those questions they have met when they are reading can guide teachers, okay? Guide us, guide teachers and the tutors. Even some of the parents, okay, if they want to step in the extensive reading practice, okay, they can, okay. Some of the parents don't know which level their kids are. And some of the teachers, you know, like I said at the beginning, the pinpoint is we don't meet them every week, and we can't monitor every student. Or some of them send us messages through WeChat or at other applications, you know, send their recording, but not every parent can do that. So the problem they have met can tell us which level they are. You know, are they doing good? Are they doing bad? And are they doing, you know, quality works? Did they spend quality time at home in extensive reading, or they are just having fun reading pictures? So look at this picture. Is also one of our students. It's actually the book is Reading Explore. I don't know if some of you know that. It's National Geographic, from National Geographic, Reading Explore. I don't know, he just chose that book. We just displayed, you know, in the reception of our school, and they choose that book. It's about dreams. And he went home and he do the dictations, and these are the mistakes they make. So from this picture, from this work, we can see these students, he is very good with sentences, but from some of the words, all right, like usually, or like this big words, scientists, memories, those are the academic words as well, because he chose a nonfiction. He chose a hard one. He chose a nonfiction book, and he want to do, he's interested in that topic. I don't know why. Like he interested in that topic, and he have done this. From that, we can see he's very good with grammar and sentences, right? And he's familiar with, like, why do we dream, that kind of opening sentences and paragraphs. But he has a lot of mistakes with words, all right, and the spelling, you know, spelling the the names like Alan, you know. So that's not very it's like not very big mistakes, but from that, we can see this student, all right, he might need a little bit training or spelling, and he might need a little bit help on, you know, explaining the word from English to English. Because when he write down, you know, when he write down the sentence, he might not know what it means. And with all those words, scientists, memories, he might not know what it means. So we try to help him to explain those words in English. All right, so look at that's the end of the teaching part. All right, so we want to know the problem, we can get them after we have done the practices. Okay, the practice. And now after after teaching, what do we want to achieve? All right, after teaching, what can we do? We want to know, you know, we want to know, did ER help them with their English skills? You know, because we are school, we are teaching English, and we are using extensive reading as a tool, all right, for English learners, young English learners. So we want to do, what we want to do is we want to integrate all those skills with a base of extensive reading. So first thing first, language skills. All right, we are learning a language. With all those benefits we can get from extensive reading, it will be a waste, you know, if you just let it go. Because you are reading so many books, all right? You're reading a lot, you're putting effort in. It will be a totally waste if you just let students go, because they are very young, they don't know. And they don't have guidance, all right? You just let them to do 100% free. So they will choose, you know, weird like topics, and they don't put in quality time. So we want to use the time they have spent to teach them English, to practice their language skills. So through extensive reading, students can use the materials they love to do practice on listening, speaking, reading, and writing. So most of you in the audience must be teachers, right? So we all know, language is about listening, speaking, reading, and writing. And all those materials we have used, read, we have done. We can let the student practice on them naturally, okay? Not on purpose. When they are read, if they have a good habit, they can integrate the skills. For example, here I have a video. I'm not sure if you guys can hear it or not. Okay, this is a video of a boy. He's reading that book. Can you hear? Can you guys hear the video?
Yes, I can hear.
Yes, okay, yes. Already. Yeah, hey.
Wisdom for Willie. Oh, how Peter wished he could wisdom. Wisdom. The boy playing with his stuff. Whenever the boy wisdom, the dog ran straight to him. Peter tried and tried to listen, and he couldn't. So instead, he began to turn himself around. So while first he must. Peter got out of the control and started home. 我鼻子不通，所以我只能走中间。你鼻子通也不通。That's okay.
Yeah, okay. I just quickly show you, like, when he reads, he actually practicing his pronunciations, and also read aloud is always good for young learners. Okay, how old is he? You guys? How old is he? Do you think he can read this kind of text? 7? Yeah, he's actually 6. Okay, he's going to primary school this year. All right, but all those books he read, this, I think this video is from the beginning of the year, like in February and March. Yes. So his mom is is a very good help, I can see. But the boy himself, he actually, when he do reading, he can read like so many books, and he always have his own idea of choosing books. Even he knows I have to read certain amount of books, but he choose his topic, and he see the pictures is red. He love that red, and he just choose. But when he read those, he can pronounce his speaking. Yeah, his speaking is very good. His pronunciation is very good. He doesn't have the Chinese accent. But at the beginning, all the Chinese students have an accent. Even me, I still have accent. But when he read more and more using the word, he tried to correct, and I tried to correct him as well. So coming to about, he has been doing the reading for about a year. So now his speaking and his reading, listening are above the average. Okay, he's a fast student. He's about, this is just an example about speaking. And we look at these 4 parts, all right? Well, because for English, we have speaking, listening, reading, and writing. And I do this picture, I do this because I think extensive reading is the base. It's the base, it's a soil. It's a soil for those 4 parts, all right? For speaking, you can, while you are reading at home, not in public, you can read aloud, all right? Like what the boy has done. You can pronounce, all right? Some of the word using phonics, you can pronounce. And for listening, all right, when you read aloud, when the student read aloud, they are actually listen to their own pronunciation. So that's also a listening practice. And some of the book, for example, still reads. Okay, we have the videos, we have the recordings they can listen to. If they want to read the book well, listen to the correct pronunciation, so they can listen to some of the recording. And absolutely for reading, all right, the more you read, the better you are. You understand the text. So you can understand more, and you can read various of topics. So when you come to your reading ability, I think I don't need to mention too much on reading. And coming to writing, all right. So it's about input and output. We have said the example I showed you about dictations, and I have other examples in later, in the later slides. They can do a writing, with the main ideas, with the key details. That's the skills they get from reading. But when they are writing down their thoughts about a topic, their thoughts about a book, their thoughts about all the 5 books they have read during the week. When they are really writing down things, all right, this reading, the reading action, the real action can give their materials inside their little brain. If you don't read, all right, if you don't have input, you cannot have output. Writing is output. So we are trying to not force, but we're trying to encourage them to have input and output at the same time. All right. So extensive reading is like the soil, and the fall of the skills. They are the seeds. All right. They are the seeds in the soil. All right. If you have a good base, you have a good extensive reading as the base, then you put in the seeds and nourishing them. All right. Watering them. Try to put more and more water, put more and more book inside this big ball of soil, and those skills will grow up naturally. That's what I think. All right, that's how we do extensive reading. We have the pinpoints, but when we come to the skills, I think extensive reading is really helping. It's really helping the students. All right, so we want to practice these skills. We want them to grow up together, all right? Integrated skills, not only one skills. So from previous speaker, Jackie, he has mentioned, some of the Chinese students, not some, I think most of the Chinese students. When I was studying in China, I still have the problem, like Chinese students are good at listening and reading, but we lack of practice in speaking and writing. Why? Because we don't have input. We don't have the soil here. How do we grow? Like you give me time, you give me space. You said, okay, grow up, grow your speaking skills, grow your writing skill. Write me an essay. I was totally shocked when I come to study overseas. All right. When I first time come study overseas, I was required to write an essay, 1,000 words. It take me 10 days. Each day I can only write about 100 words. So we don't have the soil here, but now we are trying to put this solid, the solid base to lay the soil for them. And then we put in the seeds, the 4 different seeds inside the soil so they can grow up. All right, just put it, use your imagination. So that's my way. It's a metaphor. So that's my way of explaining things. I hope you can understand. All right. If you have question, you can tap in the chat part. All right. Next one. It's still a video. Okay. They are reading aloud. So it's a short video, okay? I probably most of you cannot hear clearly, but this is actually our break time. We have 5 minutes break. When they come back from the bathroom, the toilet, they sit down and read books when they can, and they like to read aloud. And those books in the basket, we have about 100 basket, totally in our school. Each basket have a lot of books, about like 20 to 30 books they can choose from, because this way we can store more, and they just dig into what they want to read. Because this class is like a pre-kindergarten class. Some of them are only like 4 or 5 years old. They can read aloud. I think this is a very good example. All right, they are encouraged to do so. Already this example. Coming to the next. All right, so we talk about the language skills. Now we're coming to the reading comprehensions. So the reading skills. Yeah, that's what I said. I don't need to mention more. Because through extensive reading, all right, it's very good to understand the text they have read, even just skimmed. Okay, some of the text they just skimmed, because it's essential for young learners to think in the depth and extend their interest and knowledge. So if you get a book, if she get a book about, like what I said about cup, and she don't know what is a cup, and she just know there's a bear, okay? But if the student, she doesn't read deep, she can only know this is a cup, this is a bear, this is a deer, and she doesn't know what happened with the deer and the cup, and she won't have a further interest into the story. All right. What I said is I'm not requiring students to read the book over again, but just to make sure the first time they read, they skim. All right. At least you can get some information out. All right. So at least you can give me some useful information. They are required to do so, because the young learners, they don't know. You can't give them 100% freedom. All right. This is in China. It's very hard for us to give them the atmosphere, the environment, to give them the soil of extensive reading. All right. So they have to understand at the first browse, I'll say the time of skimming. All right. You have to get out, abstract some useful informations. So some of the comprehensions we use, like the pictures, you can see that's rates, okay, reading A to Z, rates. Some of the comprehension questions can give them a little bit challenge. I give them requirement. I don't want them to go 100% free. All right, they will do nothing if you just give them 100% freedom. So therefore, the young learners will not read for fun. All right, they read for informations, they read for key details, and they read for challenges. Okay, these questions for some of the learners, the students, they could find it hard. All right, I don't want them to feel, okay, I can read 5 or 10 books per week, so I'm very good. All right, I'm faster than everyone in the class. All right, they brag. they brag, they boast themselves. I don't want them, I want them to feel challenged. So this kind of challenging can keep them moving. All right. So give them pressure. I will suggest to give them pressure on reading and reading comprehension questions. So they will keep moving and keep digging in. We want them to dig in. All right. If they give up digging in, so they can't think in depth, like what we said in the first slides. All right, they will give up. So comprehensions is about first informations. Okay, you can get some details. All right, and also this look at this picture. When someone is rich, he or she is. So some of the questions are very challenging. Okay, this is for 6-year-old. He doesn't know. He just understand the context. All right, he understand the first sentence, the second sentence, and then the sentence before the question, so they can guess the answer. It's a very good challenging. It's very good to give them harder questions, so they will compete. Some of them will compete, have a good competition within the class as well. All right, so that's about reading comprehensions and the reading skills. Now we finish the skills part. Before we do that, there are some of the things we need to be careful. Okay, because some of you might have the questions now in your brain, in your head. What are you talking about? Are you talking about extensive reading or intensive reading? Actually, I'm talking about extensive reading. Okay, like I said, extensive reading is the SOU and it's our aim to do. But to avoid the confusion, we shouldn't. Okay, we shouldn't do this to the students. First one, we should not introduce too many books. Those are over the level. You know, over their level, they will find it's hard and they will have grammar questions. So when they are reading, they are losing their point. They feel it's hard to finish one book if it's very hard. And some of the parents, like Jackie said before, I'm totally agree with him. Okay, the parents think you need to read the books like 300 pages. It's all words, and you don't look at the pictures. You just read it out. Look, 300. What? Tell me. Translate to me. Okay. Some of the parents, they are intended to do so. So we don't introduce to them. They will feel resist. You know, they will resist to do more, and then they lost their interest. If they lost their interest, so then extensive reading become intensive reading, like what they have done in day school, okay, from Monday to Friday. And the second one is we should not ask students to do homework on ER. So we don't do that practice as homework. We have our homework. You know, in Peekaboo, we have our textbook. Our textbook is the Wonders series from America. All right, from the States, we use Wonders. We have homework on Wonders, but we don't do homeworks on ER, which means we try to implement retell story, education, and ask questions, but we don't do it on purposely. Say it is a homework, because if you say it's homework, the student will feel pressure. All right. And the third one is we should not only focus on what they have done wrong. This will hit their confidence. So from teacher perspective, like I said, we want to know the problem. Okay, we want to know their mistake. It get us, you know, it give us guidance how to help them, which level they want to be and which direction they can go. But we don't emphasize, okay, we don't emphasize what they have done wrong. For example, the dictation, there's a lot of red marks. You can see he spelled Alan wrong, he spelled scientist wrong, but we don't emphasize that. We just know, okay? We know, we don't emphasize to them because with extensive reading, you want them to have their passion. You don't want to hate their confidence. All right. The first one is we should do. Okay, we should change the ways to test their language skills and the reading skills. So for the skills I said before, for the past two sections, okay, those skills, these skills and the reading skill, comprehension skill, we have to change the way. We don't want to test them with exam papers, and we don't want to test them with homework. Okay, we can use the raise quiz. We can use the quiz, this one. Okay, on the screen we can use the questions, but they don't see it as a homework. All right, we have to change the ways. So for this part, we even here in Peekaboo, we are still thinking a better way to test their reading comprehensions. All right, but here I will suggest all the teachers and educators, we should change the way we test them. All right, we want to have a good integrated integration. Sorry, we want to have an integration of the four language skills, but we don't want to test them in the traditional way. And I'm open actually for this part. When I put on the slide, I'm open to suggestions. All right, I want to discuss with you guys if you have like good ways to test. All right, but that's the things we cannot do. All right. Okay, coming to the last part. Okay, coming to the parents have extension. Yes, I'm agree with you. All right, so coming to the last part of my presentation. All right, is about communications. I know it's a big topic. It's very difficult to encourage them, but we still need encourage communications. How do we do it? First one, we want them to share opinions after reading. Okay, sharing is very powerful. Okay, sharing are very highly encouraged inside our classroom and outside the classroom, because this is the nature of the children. It's the nature of cognitive development. Because for the learners aged 3 to 9, most of our students, they are very curious. All right, and they have the nature of sharing what they have found new. All right, they explore in the book, they explore every week, every day, and then they share their opinions. It's like the treasure. Okay, they found the treasure, the parrot's treasure. So they want to give their opinions generated from what they have interest in about. Okay, they are interested in, will give their space to think and express. They have the nature of curiosity, and they have the nature of sharing. So combine two of them. They read, they find something new, they find something interesting, and then they share. They share. So that's very good. That's a very good way of communication. Okay, communication. Remember that word. Share is part of the communication, and the communication is a way of share. You can share verbally, so you can speak out. You can yell to the class, "Oh, I found interesting. I found an interesting story. I don't know what is this, teacher. Oh, can you tell me?" And they show to each other. Okay, they say, "Oh, I like spiders. The spiders are very cool." So when they are reading, they will naturally have the curiosity. All right, they find something new. They think, oh, I haven't seen this before. Can you tell me why? Can you tell me why the alligator has such big mouth? Some weird question. I have met a lot of weird questions. So look at this examples is opinion. Okay, this is actually opinion of a student, and we are doing like essay, not say essay, I will say just a little bit writing, you know. So after they read a book, we are encouraging them to write down what they thought. So their opinion is, I like birds. Okay, why? So they will support themselves. This is a very good example of the young learners start composing, okay, composing their thoughts. And after they read something, they knows, okay, birds has so many colors. So they use the information they get from reading. I don't know where, I didn't teach him, okay? I didn't teach him to say birds have so many colors. Okay, they might have read somewhere and they can write dinosaurs have so many different colors. I didn't teach him, I didn't tell them. Okay, they read. They read themselves, okay, by themselves. So when they are expressing their opinions, they have this to support themselves. Okay, they look like a rainbow. I didn't tell him so many colors are rainbow. They just link this naturally, and I didn't tell them what it look like. So they might learn this from reading, from their large amount of readings. So this is a very good way of communication. That is what we want. All right, we want them to express themselves, because I don't know, some of the audience you might know in Asia, especially in China or Japan or Korea. So the students their thinking is restricted. You know, for restricted, I mean they are allowed to talk, but some of the topics or some of the knowledges, the parents won't talk to them, the teachers won't teach them. So how do they know? How could they have input? And if they want to think critically, all right, when they grow up, when they come to high school, in China, we have the university entry exam, okay? Like all the countries have before you go to university. All right, if you don't have input, you don't have the thoughts, you don't have the knowledge about the birds. All right, now you come to university, how do you write an essay? Now you are required to write essay. You required to write discussion papers. All right, you have to write report, and you don't have your own critical thinking. You only have what you have been told. So that's a problem about students in China. Now we encourage them to share the opinions, even it's just simple like this. It's very simple, all right, but we didn't teach them. This sentence could be in the future, in 2 years, the boy, okay, is a boy. He has very good writing, actually. This boy, in future, in 2 years, these birds could be any different animals, we don't know. Wild beasts, shrimps, all right, I don't know, I don't even know, sharks. So this sentence could be upgraded when he read more and more, his skill get higher, and his English skills become better and better. This draft here could be an essay that a university student cannot write. Why? Because a university student didn't have that much input when they are little, but this boy has. I didn't have, you know. I studied my high school overseas, not in China. But when I was in primary school here in China, I didn't have that opportunity. But now they have. They can read a lot of books in our school. Okay, their parents are informed the importance of reading, especially extensive reading they could do at home. So they are doing it. They are trying to do more and more input, and in the class or say in the school, teachers and tutors encourage them to share opinions. So this is a very good natural cycle of communications. It's a communication inside the children. Okay, he read and he thought and he expressed, and then he receive opinions as well. Oh, the teacher will say, oh, I love birds too, but it's not because birds have so many colors. It's because birds can fly. See, I can give him my opinions. That's a very healthy two-way communication. So that's what I said, communication. All right. After reading, that's encourage the communication. That's two-way, not only one way, not only the book and the boy. It's not only the boy and me. It's about book, boy, teacher, everyone, friends, thoughts, opinions. So it's everything they can do. So that's about share opinions. See what they are doing. They are trying to say this is a book. Even they cannot understand, they are trying to say something about the books. And this is a book about the Avengers, but this boy and this girl, they are trying to read this book. I think it's about fish or something. Yeah. And here is another interesting part. All right, it is from my students. Maybe you don't know what the picture means. I will tell you later. All right. So part of the communication process, we encourage students to link the topics. So one of our teaching methods is to ask students to describe the image on the textbook in several ways. Okay, when we do intensive reading. All right, but when they do extensive reading, the intensive reading, so they can use that kind of way to describe the book they read. Okay, this autonomous imagination and their choice of words are the treasure. Okay, I will describe it. I will metaphor it as treasure inside a rocket ship. Okay. Hello. Someone didn't mute. Okay. Can you mute yourself, please? All right. All right. Let's come back. All right. So one of the way we do in the classroom is we ask them to describe something, all right, through a topic. For example, what he is doing. Okay, he's drawing a giraffe. you might not know why. I don't know why he's drawing giraffe. Okay, I'll tell you a little bit later. All right, so they are giving a topic. It could be from their textbook. And it could be from the book they read extensively, means they read at home, you know. But we will say this is a topic. It's a topic about animal. It's a topic about food. It's a topic about jobs, all right? And it could be a topic about dinosaurs. Okay, they always love dinosaurs. I don't know, it's a word thing. All the kids in the world love dinosaurs. All right, so they love different topic. It could be a mystery topic. It could be a astrology topic. So all of the topic, we train them in the class. All right, be careful. It's in the class. All right, it's not outside the class. They have the skills. We ask them to describe the image, and when they come to do reading at home, okay, when they come to do reading at home, they naturally use that skill. and use the imagination. All right, use the imagination to do what? To describe, okay, to describe what they have read. From the book, lots of the book we have here, they have images, right? And we have the captions, all right? And we have some of the non-fiction text, we have labels, we have, you know, charts. So it's all in reading, the different format of text. They can read different types, and they link the topic together. They link what they have learned in the classroom to what they have read at home. So I don't need to, so as a teacher, I don't step in this process, okay? I don't control them. They don't need to be controlled. They naturally do this. All right, so they naturally take the action when they have this good kind of habit. They have the habit, all right? So they put this kind of action into extensive reading. Can you understand me? All right, so this is a logic, all right? I didn't teach them to do this when they're doing extensive reading, all right? I teach them to do this when they are doing intensive reading in class. Sorry, what? In class, and he will naturally to link the topics. For example, here he's drawing a giraffe because we are learning a text about how bad.
Mama, this is banana one. Banana.
Sorry, can someone mute themselves? Okay. Alrighty. Now let's come back to this boy. He's very cute. He's drawing a giraffe, and he tried to tell me how giraffe got its long neck. Okay. He actually draw a book after we studied a text. It's called How Bat Got Its Wings. So it's not a fiction. Sorry, it's a non-fiction. Sorry, it's my mistake. It's a fiction, all right? It's like a story type. But he used his imagination and link to some story he has read during his own time. And he draw this giraffe thing and try to explain to me, try to communicate to me. I think this is a very good. And he draw this one as well. If you can see, it's kind of like a development of a creature. All right, he said this is a strawberry dinosaur. I don't know how he gave this name, but he must have combined what he has read and he know, and we have studied, okay, the bat story and the giraffe story, and maybe what he saw daily, the boy loved dinosaurs, and he wrote it down. So this is a very good example about linking topics. Linking topics can have very high synergy, okay, very high synergy. It's like what we do in our business, okay, two business together, you can have combined together, you can have synergies. So two or more topics combined together, he will be creative, he will be expressing something he even didn't know. All right, I didn't know. Okay, I didn't know this, and I didn't know how giraffe got its long neck. Maybe it's his own imagination, but he told me it's something he has read. All right, and he giving this drawing. He loves drawing, so this is kind of expression as well. I asked him, what is this animal, how it grows up, so he can talk a lot. Our Chinese students we really don't have the atmosphere of learning English. It's a very sad story. It's very sad here. Sometimes could be very negative. Okay, you are forced to take exams. You are forced to repeat things. But for something like this, okay, he can talk a lot. He gave name to each of the animals. He described how this baby dinosaur become, how big it is, what he can do. So through this communication, he used verb, he used adjectives, he used a grammar, he used past tense. He used past tense. He said when the dinosaur was a baby. That's his original sentence, because I was quite surprised he can say that. He is a year 2 student in China, primary school. All right, so that's a very good example about link the topics, and the way encourage the student to do this. And another picture, okay, we have to believe them. We have to believe our student. From psychological perspective, when they are encouraged, the power of imagination and the sharing could bring us a lot of things we don't know. Okay, so that's the end of the three method. Each of them has two steps. So that's the three perspectives. And from practice, we found the problems. And when we find the problem, we can keep teaching, and we put the extensive reading as a soil. We have the skills, and the plus reading skills. And then after that, we are able to read very well. And after that, inside the students' brain and their heart, they will have their opinions, and we encourage them to link the topics they have studied to have some synergy. Okay, the different things coming out, okay, new things they can create inside themselves. And then we start a circle again. All right, all of the steps, they are working for extensive reading, and they are coming from extensive reading. Extensive reading is the base of those steps, and those steps can help, okay, can help students read extensively and efficiently as well. Now, after the presentation, did we solve all our pain points? Do you think the method works? All right, now those are the pain points. Okay, let's say them. It's a cross, big cross. I don't want the screen become very messy. So it's a big cross. I think these 6 steps, okay, these 6 steps can solve about 80% of the pain point. And educators, okay, teachers and the learners, you can get good thing about it, and also say, do you think your student need those steps? All right, does it fit in your country? Does it fit in your classroom? Okay, you can have a think, and because I have test, okay, we have tested in Peekaboo. These things work. These things worked for past 2 years. We are trying to test. All right, we're trying to improve every day. We want to be better and faster every day. All right, so those are the 6 things. And all right, that's my presentation. Thank you very much. And last thing, we love reading. Okay, we love reading. Yes, look at the smiling face. It's a book. It's a book and it's a puzzle as well. Alrighty, now it's time for you to ask